Well, happy Tuesday to everybody. I hope you guys are having a great time. I'm just getting myself sorted out over here a little bit. I'm in Lincolnwood, Illinois today, and just really wanted to bring forward to you guys in regards to finding the positive. So, how do we find the positive? I hope you guys all had a great weekend. I mean, it was beautiful weather here in Chicago. I came from Arizona to beautiful 70-degree weather, and apparently Scottsdale, Arizona got a cold front. So I really wanted to come here today to talk to you guys about really finding the positive in any situation or whatever life throws at you. I mean, chances are you probably had someone tell you to just be positive or to look on the bright side of life. And while they may be well intentioned, as anyone who has ever been blindsided by a breakup missed out on that promotion, maybe, or even got laid off from a job. Well, I'll tell you, that's often an easier said than done scenario. How do we do that? How do we actually move forward from those type of situations? But here's the thing, being positive and being a positive person may have less to do with staying positive all the time and more to do with just having a resilient response. I mean, resiliency. How many times have you been taught about resiliency in high school or college, even? I don't think at all. Now, if you're naturally prone to cynical thoughts, all is not lost. It really isn't. There are plenty of positive thinking techniques that can help us, you and I, really train our brains to have a brighter outlook on life, on today. Let's talk about some of these. When you give yourself positivity, you're often harder on ourselves. I know I am, than we would ever be on someone else. So the trick is to talk to yourself like you would your best friend. I hope you have a best friend, right? And I hope that you're talking in a positive way and not in a negative way to your best friend. Yes, it might feel strange at first, but when you are talking to yourself, you can find an influence of thoughts. You can influence those thoughts that you're having, those feelings, those behaviors, especially if you're speaking to yourself in the second or third person. Have you ever said this? You got this. I can do this. You can do this. Or when one door opens, well, I should say, when one door closes, another one opens, right? So you could also try setting these reminders around your whole environment. Think about this. Send yourself a text message to remind yourself to send your significant other flowers or to pick up the milk that he or she asked you to pick up. Put up some positive post-it notes and change your computer background to a positive message. These are all tricks that I've used in the past. Mantras can bring you a smidge of relief and reminder um, of any type of things that you want to get better at. Even if you're not so great at the moment at something, you can set these positive affirmations to really bring you to that next level. So let's take a look at being positive and talking with positively. When we start talking in a positive way, words make a big difference, not only in the terms of how you feel, but also in the way others perceive you as well, right? By jumping into a conversation with a positive statement, you can set a more optimistic tone with anybody, with anything. For example, the next time someone at work asks, "How are you?" Try saying something like-hearted, like, "I just had the best turkey and avocado sandwich for lunch from Panera." It's a fantastic sandwich if you've had it before. Like, really just look at that positivity, and maybe you're enrolling them into a possibility where they'll register and go do that for themselves. Maybe they've never had that type of turkey and avocado sandwich, and let me tell you, it's really good, especially with bacon. How's your day going? And ask them instead of saying, I'm so stressed out and busy. I mean, that's pretty easy. We all are stressed out and busy. We're all doing things to make a difference and an impact in people's lives. This will naturally lead the conversation and your mind to move into a positive place. Not to mention that if you put out positive energy, you might also be more likely to receive that positive energy as well. This is especially important if you are a manager or a leader of an organization, right? You are the one setting the tone for the entire office. This is the same as if you were a salesperson or an operations person working with a carrier or customer, or even out on the floor in a restaurant or a bar. Be positive and spread that positivity around like it's going to catch on. This is so important. So I'm sure that we've all been in a situation where we have a boss that is always in a bad mood. Really, I mean, always in a bad mood. And let's say you know it, right? You definitely know that person's in a bad mood. Don't be like that. As a leader, one had exercises our leadership as our natural self-expression. You should be encouraging and motivational. Let your team know that they can come to you with any issue without adding on to your stress. Right? You've got to be that person. You got to be that person with that stand that people can rely on, that know that you're going to be there through thick and thin, even in the worst case scenario, where they can tell you anything. So let's talk about showing kindness, right? That's another way to find the positive in a practice. Random acts of kindness. Even the smallest act of kindness can be uplifting. It's look for these effects that can really affect how a person's being or doing. I had to go get a COVID test today, and I pulled up in an area that I'm not familiar with. And the lady was really, really nice. And she said that was very positive. So hence you get this great conversation today because we can really pass that on to someone. And now she's going to pass it on to someone else and so on and so forth. The same thing of type of effect happens when we're negative or we're complaining or we're looking for something to gripe about. It could be almost anything. Giving a coworker a ride, helping someone out with a project, or even covering a shift for somebody, helping them when they can't see anything else that they're dealing with. See, we put all these negative stresses on our own life, and then we're expected to help other people. But we can't really help other people if we can't help ourselves. See, we've got to clear ourselves from all of these things that are really weighing us down. How do we do that? Let's face it, a lot of what happens during the day is out of our control. It really is. Think about this. If you look outside, the weather is the weather. It's just the way it is. As we're evolving and rolling around, right, on this round earth, what we can't control how other people drive. We really can't, right? What they say is, or what they say to us, or how much they ask of us. A lot of people ask a lot of things, and we have to fulfill that. But we can still control what we do and how we intend for others to feel by our own actions. We can also control what we think. When you spread kindness to others, the effect is multiplied exponentially. I mean, think of Moore's Law as we're continuing and growing and how exponential it is. Giving grace and giving gratitude to people and letting them know how cute an outfit looks or how great their new hairdo looks or how they're showing up to you as. It doesn't have to be a big gesture like starting a foundation or donating $100 or hundreds of dollars. Instead, there are countless small acts of kindness that you can do, that I can do on a daily basis to trigger positivity in our own lives. Look for those. Turn that paradigm upside down and see how that can change. See, it's all these small gestures that help create a great work environment and a great culture. But once again, this all starts at the top with the leadership team, with your executive team, with your board, as high up as you can possibly go. And then it trickles down throughout the whole organization. Each one of us has an opportunity to make a difference and an impact, not only in our friends, not only in our families, but in the world, in our communities. We can do that. All we have to do is say, we are going to do that. It's all about turning those words around where they're activated and not being reactive. It starts with an A, right? It's activated, not reactive. Don't go so far into the alphabet to find the R where you're reactive. Be that activated person. Practice gratitude. Really. If we could practice gratitude and being grateful for what we have and what shows up in front of us, it's a beautiful thing. See, we can complain about anything, but could we be grateful for anything too? We sure can. Absolutely. So the last tip I have for you guys is at gratitude. I wanted to talk about finding that positivity in practicing. How do you exercise that? How do you practice gratitude? Gratitude is a way of appreciation and appreciating what you have instead of always reaching for something new in the hopes that it will maybe make you happier or think you can feel satisfied until every physical and every material need is met. That's a good way of setting up for failure, too. So try this out. Spend 5 minutes or 10 minutes each night writing down just five things that you're grateful for from this day, from having a supportive group of friends, a loving family, or something as simple as having food to eat. Or for me, having my COVID test. It took me like 5 minutes. I mean, really, it's gotten so much easier. And I just needed to be able to travel to Virginia. I'll be in Virginia tomorrow and they require a COVID test. So I sit on a non-for-profit board and it's one of the requirements. So we're all doing an in-person board meeting and for 3 days. And everybody wants to make sure that everybody's safe and in a safe environment. So we already know life isn't perfect, right? Life's not perfect. I could have looked at that and been really negative, like, really, I got to do a COVID test. Nobody in Illinois is wearing masks anymore, nor are they wearing masks in Scottsdale. There will be complaints. There will be burdens. There will be obstacles that we all have to get through. That's a given. But when we look at life as a whole, gratitude will encourage you to identify some amount of goodness in your life, in my life, in the people around us. Before I go any further, let's see if there's any comments or concerns that people would like to share. So Josh Field says, great topic, Jim. Another great tool, especially among dispersed teams. Yeah, dispersed teams, let me tell you. And we have to act differently with those dispersed teams. And we have to let them know how gracious we are for what they're dealing with on a day-to-day basis, or what customers and clients are spread out and send them some physical email, right? A card or a small gift. We've been doing that with our team here at Becker and just sending swag at their house, letting them know that we're thinking of them. So these small gifts and gestures can be delivered in surprising dose of positive. Oh, Josh Fields, nice job. I like it. These are the type of comments I love seeing. Cindy writes, how do you help your team find the positive? Well, how I help them find the positive is taking care of all the negatives. I help them clear all those negatives from their plate. If it's something dealing with work, or if it's something in their personal life, how do you remove those negative thoughts? First, clear all those. Once you get rid of all those negative thoughts and clear those, and then say, is there anything else that's weighing you down, that's burdening you? Once you get to that point, you can say, well, what are you appreciative of in your life? What's something you could not live without? my children, a hug from my daughter, the look on her face when she says daddy, right? I mean, we get caught up and wrapped up in the whole situation when our kids are sick or someone hit our car or we have to send our car in for maintenance or whatever the case may be. Don't live in that world. Choose. Choose a better life, a life that one you can live into, not one that you dread to go into. So, in conclusion, let's just kind of wrap this all together. So, we need to find that positivity. Not only will you benefit from it, but others will too. I mean, really, positivity is like contagious. Try walking into a room filled with people and being the only Debbie Downer. Sorry, Debbie's out there. Um, it probably won't last, right? Talk with positivity to yourself and to others. Show kindness and practice gratitude. Pay it forward as we move forward. So that's my message to you guys for today for going live. If you have any comments, concerns, um, questions, go ahead and put it in the comments below and I'll get back to it later on today. Or if you're seeing this later on as a recording, no problem. Put it on in there. I think I have one more question or comment. Let's see what these are. This is great. Um, I got John. Hey, John. Good to see you, buddy. Positivity is tied to caring and love. Show them both. John, you're so right. You know, we have so much. We have access. Um, we have tons of love inside of us. Share that. You'll generate more. Just like if you donate blood, more blood will be generated. That's great, John. Thank you so much. And Marcy says, I think you need to be a guest speaker at our facility, especially with gratitude. Hey, Marcy, not a problem. Send me an email, DM me. I speak on a regular basis and been keynote at several functions, so not a problem. I'll add it to my schedule. Let's make that happen. Listen, everybody, thank you very much. I hope you have a great week and a blessed week. Thank you very much. God bless.